My name is Deborah Hedlund, and I'm running for the Supreme Court of the state of Minnesota. People have asked me, why would you do that? Why would you run for a seat on the Minnesota Supreme Court when you are already a trial judge in Hennepin County? Don't you like that job? And yes, I love that job, and I've had that job for 28 years in preparation of learning all I can to be on the Minnesota Supreme Court. Are judges different? Yes, they are. And you need to, when you vote, learn as much as you can about the people you're voting for. I believe in the country I live in and in the law that is passed by the legislature. And I know that my job is not to make law, but rather to enforce the law. Why is that important? Well, it's important because the law is the great leveler. It treats everybody the same. And that's what's made this country great. That it doesn't matter whether you are a king or a pauper, whether you are black or white or Asian or what your immigrant status is, the law is for you. It is the same. And that's the job I have now. But on the Supreme Court, it's even more important because that is where the law is finally made. And it's the last chance people have to get it right. And I think it's important that someone who has trial court experience is up there. Right now, it's unusual that none of the 7 justices on the Supreme Court have ever spent much time in the trial court. Only one has been there for 2.5 to 4 months. Not long enough to learn much about the working of it. Isn't that unusual? Because you know what their main job is in the Supreme Court? It is to review the decisions of the trial court. So you would think that it would be important for some of them to have been there or know how it works. That's why I'm running. I feel very strongly that Minnesotans deserve to have a judge with 28 years experience doing what is being reviewed. If you were a teacher, would you want a plumber reviewing your work? If you were a postman, would you want someone who builds brick walls to decide whether you've done a good job? No. It's important that the people that are being reviewed are represented there. And so I would add that perspective. The people that are there are very bright and they're very well intentioned, but those that I seek to help have no trial court experience. And so if you vote for Judge Deborah Hedlund, you will add a very important bunch of experience to that court, which has a lot of head knowledge, but not a lot of practical knowledge about how the trial courts work. Thank you. It's important